Hi, once forgiven, now free. I came across your video and I wanted to answer it and explain to you the reasoning of a general skeptic or atheist. The question that you made is easily answered. No, I'm not intelligently designed. My brain is not intelligently designed. It's a product of evolution through natural selection. And that is a claim that's backed up. And I'm going to explain to you how claims like that are backed up, essentially, through 4 different methods. And these are methods that anybody can use to understand any sort of claim and determine its truth. The first one being, is there any empirical evidence? Is there data that I can see and that you can see, that anybody can see, that can back up the claim, that can show that the claim is true? So once I have data, then I want to test my claim with that data. So I gather it together and I essentially test it. Depends on the claim. Once I come to a conclusion after testing it, then it gets verified. So somebody else takes my data, takes my claim, and takes my conclusion, and comes to the exact same conclusion as me. Then after that, it gets falsified, which is making sure that the final end claim doesn't contradict with itself at all. And a good example of this is when Albert Einstein explained relativity, and he explained what we should expect for solar eclipses, when we should see them, what we should see, and he got it down to a date, and he was exactly right. And another example is Harold Camping. He was a guy a couple of years ago that made rapture, or he basically gave rapture dates, had a bunch of followers, and turns out they didn't get raptured. And there's a pretty iconic picture of a guy in Times Square, like standing there thinking he's going to get raptured. This old guy, he didn't know any difference. He didn't know how to verify claims. He's standing there getting jeered by the crowd, and it's kind of sad. Kind of sucks, but he was stupid for believing this stuff in the first place. So that's how we deduce claims. Now, the problem, though, that I think Christians make and that religious people make is that they don't care about the evidence in a certain way, and they take other things as evidence, in my opinion, without really knowing it. And there's 3 separate things that you have to watch out for. When you have a claim and you want to determine its truth, you don't determine it by authority. Nobody tells you something and then it's true. The second one is you don't accept it through tradition. And so you don't accept something as truth because that's how it's always been done, or nobody knows any different. And then the last one is revelation. You cannot trust a claim as truth if it's been revealed to you or someone else and they told you about it. There are no way to test any of those claims, and intelligent design, in my opinion, kind of falls into the revelation category. That's another problem. And the other 2 little things that you said, one being my atheist belief. I don't live my life with any sort of belief. I make judgments about things and believe them, I guess, on their worth. So if you tell me you had a sandwich for lunch, I know people have sandwiches for lunch, and I know that you probably have access to bread and ham and cheese, so you may have had a sandwich for lunch. If you say you have a shark sandwich for lunch, I don't really believe you off the top of my head. I'm a little skeptical, and I want to see, all right, well, what, I don't know, upscale restaurant, or when did you go sailing and catch a shark or whatever, make it for lunch? And then when you say, I had a shark sandwich on the moon, and I was like casting my reel all the way to Earth and like reeled up a shark and ate it on the moon, I'm not going to believe you. That's unsubstantiated evidence, and it's going to take a lot for me to get convinced of that. And then when you say there's a God outside of space and time that created everything, sat around for the 100,000 years of Homo sapiens killing themselves, and decided right at the last minute to show himself, reveal himself to an illiterate tribe in the middle of the desert in the Middle East, when there are Chinese people that already understand math conveniently. He didn't reveal himself to those people. Much smarter. Like, I'm not going to accept that. That's ridiculous. When there's no data to prove it except for authority, tradition, and revelation, which are bad reasons. I'd like to hear your response. I'm sure I fell into some sort of apologetic trap along the way, but I'm sure you've got reason and evidence to back up your claim. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.